To the brim are the rivers and their tributaries. The reality of the impact of global warming setting in, leaving millions of people homeless, farmlands and harvests in shambles.
Baffles us all. Well, this one overflowed and to the extent of coming across the bridge, the express. We asked our elders, and the history says that ever since the construction of Murtala Bridge, it has never occurred before. Well, I don't know where the thought may come from, but it has been a while. I think last month, and this has affected the socio-economic life of our citizens. Precisely, you see, very many of us farm across this section, but at first we lost all our farm produce. Then coming down to the town again, the houses were being taken away.
3 times that I witnessed with my own eyes. So the first year that I witnessed is 2012 that I witnessed it. So the water started coming with, something like a joke, you understand? But you will not take it serious. So immediately it's coming, the water is coming. That's how people will predict that it's going to stop, it will stop, it will stop. Whereby the water is coming, so you understand, but the water started coming. So people are thinking, as in, what life is as in, they are now aware of the water, that the water can cause many problems, something of that nature, you understand? But to me, you understand, if government can try with this water, the way this water is coming like this, they should try. Since this water is coming, every year that is going to be releasing the water is during rainy season, please, they should stop it. They should release the water during the dry season. Because this rainy season, the more the rain is falling, that's the more the water will be coming more. You understand? By to getting more plenty, you understand? So they should please, we are begging them, they should not be releasing the dam, please, by this rainy season time. So if they can just abide by that.
The confluence of the river Niger and Benue, like never before, spilling above its limit, rendering transport stranded for days.
Since Monday we are here, since Monday night we are here, there's no road, it can no pass. You can see what happened here. Since Monday night, there's no how motor will pass. Our luxurious is the back here. So since that Monday, they are passing motor and some motor will not come, some motor will break down. There's no anywhere we can pass here. When you see here that they'll pass through vehicle, another one will come. Some trailer will come and block the road. There's no way you can pass here. See what happens is here. And once it's night, I cannot see morning motor over. Because there is people directing people the way you can see plenty water is here. There's no anywhere we can go. When you look around there, you see one trailer is breaking down, the other one is breaking down. That's what's causing all this hold up here.
Pure water, 15 naira. They bought pure water, 15 naira. I bought this, 200 naira. And what up is too much. We are passing through stress. We need help.
So how have you been able to manage yourself for all these days that you have spent on the road, eating and so on and so on?
So there is no money. If I have to ask the driver to help me with some money so that I can eat food. And the food is very expensive. The food is very expensive.
I don't have the numbers of the level of the waters, especially at the river there where the Murtala Bridge is. But what I can tell you is that where I am here, about 5-6 kilometers away from Murtala Bridge, waters have taken over the road, the villages by the right and the left-hand side. Critical supplies from trucks here has been held here for 4 days. People are finding their way to their destination by all means.
Many are carrying perishable goods that could end up in the ditch, while the vehicles wait for a chance to cross the bridge. The inability of trucks ferrying petroleum products to different parts of northern Nigeria is already sending a shiver of shortages, stimulating endless queues in filling stations. Like the midnight rain, it's leaving nowhere dry, so canoes have the dominance in movements within the wetlands. Hadiza took us into what used to be her compound. It is now a fish pond. The beginning of the flowing of the flood, her worst nightmare.
It started in the morning. Before afternoon, everywhere was filled up with water. And like gradually, we thought maybe the water will go down. Every day by day, it increased.
Kaman satin da ya wuce, ruwan dai yana zuwa, an ce ruwa na zuwa ya hau titi. To daga baya kuma yana zuwa kadan zai shigo gida ne ko ba zai shigo ba, zai shigo ne ko ba zai shigo ba. Da daddare kawai muka kwana mun tashi muka ga ruwa cikin gida. Gida ya cika ba mu da sukuni kuma. Duk daki sun cika ba mu da sukuni kuma muka yi faman kwashe kaya.
Inhabitants of villages by the river within Kotonkarfe in Lokoja have already evacuated, but the IDP camp, which is their only option, is unsuitable.
The mothers are left here at the IDP camp to do the cooking, take care of the children. But the men go back on the waters and continue to fish and bring back here so they will sell and make some amount of money to take care of their families.
Water Falcons 2012, 2018, 2020, and this 2022. With the inside, fraud is disturbing us. We need assistance from government. And now we are hungry, no assistance. When we go to water side, no fish. Any moment we go, we can be able to come back with 500 naira, look at the children, and that 500 naira cannot be able to take care of them. And the farm that we do, cassava, rice, water fact them, we cram here with nothing. We need assistance from government. Please.
For some, victims of flood must take up the responsibility for calling a bluff of early warnings.
Let us stand out. It's we that follow the water to that time. Because we advised when it came 20, 2012, 20. The advice is we should evacuate from that side. Some people refuse to evacuate. What did the government do to you? It did to you 2012, 2020, and listen. The government did a lot of things. That's to evacuate. Is this how government will continue to be telling every year that you compensate it? No. To be frank, I did not support that.
Across the bridge and down the lower part of the river Niger is Yauri in Kebbi State. Local dams let loose. The rice plains feeling the heat, with millions of hectares garbaged. Fear of food shortages and default for those who have access to bank loans looms. In between that scenario, some salvages in rare cases. The community is giving up their precious abode. No thanks to the rising tide of flood.
A man born here in the last 30 years has not seen a disaster like this one. We see this as a disaster designed by God. Now we have lost all our positions.
It started last week at 2 a.m. Someone nearby lost his life. We started shouting for help, and people came to our aid. And now we are stranded with nothing to eat. Since day before yesterday, we have been here.
Every year, the meteorological agencies issue out warnings of impending flood. They also used to provide solutions to minimize the effect of the flood. For example, dredging of the river Niger and other major rivers in the country, and also dredging of dams like Goronyo and other dams in the country will help a long way in minimizing the disastrous effect of the flood. Unfortunately, the warnings given by the agencies are not taken seriously. Every year we have the same problem of flooding, and a lot of lives and property lost. I hope and pray that the flood this year will be a wake-up call for the authorities to start doing something against next year. And also draining of waterways in the urban areas is very important. We have, even at local government level, sanitary inspectors that are supposed to make sure that the waterways in the towns are clear of debris. So, as I said earlier, I hope and pray that the authorities will be up and doing against next year. For example, the dredging of the river Niger has started up to Baro in Niger State. That is stopped there. It's very important that this should proceed up to this area. By doing that, I believe the flooding, if not totally eradicated, will be minimized. So I mentioned that the river Rima and Sokoto and other rivers, they all empty into Niger. Eventually, the river comes down here. I can see where the receiving end of the flood. So many towns have been displaced in the last 48 hours, and many farms, rice and other things have been, destroyed. So there's little we can do about it now, except give some donations also to cushion the effect of this disaster. But I'm praying that the next dry season, if farmers are given fertilizer and water pumps, maybe the losses they incurred this time, they'll gain them during dry season farming. It's very important to now focus on dry season farming by providing the farmers enough fertilizer, water pumps for the irrigation.
Apart from the dredging, sir, is there any other appeals so you have to federal government, sir?
Well, the appeal is the cautions about the preventive measures mentioned by the authorities. That's NAMET, isn't it? The preventive measures should be followed. So if that's done, I think there will be, the disaster will be minimized.
Their destination, the IDP camps. There they encounter overcrowding, higher probability of outbreak of waterborne disease. In Yola, the custodian of the Upper Benue River has debunked the notion that the cause of flood in different parts of the country lies on the singular act of opening up the Lagdo Dam. A lot of other factors, like the hundreds of tributaries within Nigeria and the continuous abuse of the environment, like deforestation, have huge impact. If anything, the custodian of the Upper Benue River says Lagdo Dam is a blessing to Nigeria.
Benin Republic, Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea, almost 9 member countries, all of them are building dams on River Niger. And the fear to Nigeria is that those dams they are building, they are not going to cause flood, but they are going to reduce the flow coming to Kainji Dam and Jeba Dam. So what is the solution to get more water for power generation at Kainji Jeba. Nigeria, as a member country of NBA, has to forward a complaint to the NBA Niger Basin Authority, the regional body, that the upstream countries should reduce their dam storage capacity and must allow a percentage of the Niger flow into Nigeria. But here in Adamawa and Taraba, I have heard the news in BBC, Hausa, Voice of America, even in our own local news media, newspapers. Everybody is saying Lagdo Dam are responsible for the flooding of the Benue, which is completely the opposite. Well, it has to be an annual ritual because on daily basis, Nigeria was less than 100 million at independence. Now we are over 200 million. If you assume 200 million Nigerians, everybody can dump between 5 to 8 kilograms of solid waste in front of his house or inside his drainage channel, which we call Lambatu in Hausa, or drainage channels, waiting for rainwater to come and flush the solid waste. Those solid waste always ended up into our river channels. And day by day, year by year, they are reducing the capacity of our rivers to discharge runoff. So the three tiers of government, local government, state government, and other federal agencies responsible for environmental management should ensure that there is a policy of solid waste disposal in this country, not into our rivers, but either recycling it or decomposing it and converting it into renewable energy. And some of the materials can be recycled, like plastics can be recycled, metals can be recycled, but any organic matter can be converted into renewable energy. If you listen to CNN, in is it Netherlands or Amsterdam, about 380 trucks a day bring solid waste from the city. And in the city center, they constructed a recreational center that is fueled by the domestic waste from the center, city center. So once the trucks dump the solid waste, they remove the metals, they remove the plastics and the organic waste, they convert it into biogas, produce electricity for the recreational center. So since in Nigeria, recreation is not part of our hobby, the solid waste can be converted into energy for rural electrification so that our villagers will stop going to the bush to cut down trees for domestic energy, because it's part of the factors that are depleting our vegetative cover. Vegetation absorbs greater percentage of rainfall, more than 50 to 60% of rain that falls if you have vegetative cover. So it means maybe 40% or less than that will contribute to river flow. So by removing the vegetation, you are increasing the surface runoff, and also you are increasing the rate of soil erosion, and will continue to have flood year in, year out, forever.
Traveling to Uroboke, a border town in Yola, reprieve for those resident on the higher grounds, but not their farmlands on the lower plains. This makes it difficult for one to be comfortable with the submission of the custodian of the Opa Benue River.
For the people of Uroboke, Fufore local government area of Adamawa State, it's only that they have lost all their belongings, their farmlands, grazing lands, their homes, and a lot of other properties.
But the most important thing is that they are losing a very critical part of the environment, a space that divides them between their community and the river. And this is happening very fast.
This river has overflowed its bank. I grew up here, but I've never seen flood like this season. And we have lost everything, our farms, homes, and the space between us and the river.
All what we have is the farm, so the piece of land we manage and sit with our own parents and our own brothers and sisters, because we don't have any other works to do. We are all fishermen looking for what we will eat just to survive. So this flood that come has washed all the farms, all the piece of land we sat on, and the houses has been broken. So we have nothing to hold on to now. We are only calling for the government to see us through, because the youths we're suffering, we don't have any other job to do, and we have gone to school. We have all qualifications at home. We don't have job, so we now come back to our own parents to manage the handwork we have. The handwork we have is only fishing, going to farm, coming back, and get a little cheese to eat. So as for now, we have nothing.
Back in Lokoja, the Kogi state capital, the flooding receding, inhabitants returning to their homes with crude surprises.
And some people died. Some people were rushed to another hospital. They brought 5 people in. And immediately we responded to action, emergency medication. We started the treatment, and at this moment, all of them are stable.
But there are still some cracks left, as many victims cry out over the manner in which the relief materials are distributed.
It's not that government are not helping matters. They are helping matters, but how can that thing, when they help people, how can that thing reach the poor ones? Because that thing is not reaching the poor ones. We are only seeing it happen. Government are saying that they are helping people, but up to now, we have not seen it. Usually, even this year, something has happened because our houses, our farms has gone down.
Really, it has impacted seriously, and so many have gotten relief as a result of these items given to them. But remember, the disaster is so much, it's beyond the capacity of the state government. That is why we've been crying out all along for help from the national government, from the international bodies, that is the UN partners, the INGOs, and then well-to-do individuals as well, to come to the aid of the victims.
Hues and cries will attract sympathy, but what is more important is for the victims to take seriously environmental care and heed to the fallout of weather forecast.